Peter had always been known for his wandering mind. While his coworkers discussed spreadsheets and deadlines in the meeting room, his eyes fixed on the window, where the blue sky invited him to another place. A single moment of silence was enough for his mind to escape to worlds only he could see. That particular afternoon, while his boss talked about quarterly goals, Peter found himself walking along a deserted beach. The sound of the waves replaced the voices in the meeting. The warm sand between his toes felt more real than the corporate carpet beneath his feet. There, in that parallel universe, he was not a junior analyst. He was a renowned writer, living in a seaside house, crafting stories that touched hearts. "Peter, do you have anything to add?" The boss's voice pulled him back to reality. With a shy smile, he shook his head no. What no one knew was that those daydreams were not mere escapes. They were rehearsals. Peter was secretly writing a book at night. Each daydream fueled his creation. Each imaginary world became a new page. 6 months later, when his novel was accepted by a publisher, Peter handed in his resignation letter. His colleagues were baffled, but he smiled, thinking of how many times he had rehearsed that moment in his daydreams. Daydreaming is truly a window into our deepest desires. When we let our minds wander freely, they often take us to the places our hearts truly wish to be. It's as if, for a few moments, we can peel away the layers of commitments, social expectations, and practical limitations that usually constrain our imagination. Gaston Bachelard, the French philosopher, saw daydreaming as something deeply poetic and creative. For him, it was not merely an escape from reality, but a way of expanding human consciousness. When we daydream, we are not just avoiding the present, we are actively creating possibilities. The interesting thing is that daydreams function as a kind of internal compass. If we pay attention to the content of these wandering moments, we can discover a lot about our true desires and aspirations. Where does your mind go when it has total freedom? What do you build in your imagination when there are no limitations? Many great inventors, artists, and thinkers attributed their most revolutionary ideas to moments of daydreaming. Einstein imagined himself traveling on a beam of light. Salvador Dali deliberately cultivated states of consciousness between sleep and wakefulness to fuel his surrealist art. However, there is a delicate balance. Daydreaming can be both a gateway to creativity and a way to avoid taking concrete action. The key may lie in using these inner worlds not just as a refuge, but as a laboratory for experiences that we will eventually bring into the real world. What do you think? Do your daydreams reveal desires you are working to fulfill, or are they merely a temporary escape?